Hey, what's up guys? Brian Kelly here from Zombie Guitar. In this video I just wanted to show you two things that I figured out pretty early in my guitar playing life that I still use to this day, and they're really simple to do. And I don't know, I just use them all the time, so maybe you guys already know this stuff, maybe you don't, but check it out. So the first thing is octaves. So both of these things I want to show you are going to be rooted on the A string. You can do the same things from the E string, but just to keep things simple, we're just going to root on the A string. So the first thing is octaves. So let's say instead of just playing like this note, 3rd fret of the A string, which is the note C, you're also going to play another C an octave higher. So in order to find that note, you go up 2 frets, skip a string, and then here's a C up here on the next string. So you're also going to mute the string out in between, which is the D string. You're going to mute that out with like the skin of your first finger. So instead of this, you have this. Now, the cool thing about this is you can make really cool sounding leads. Like I used to listen to a bunch of punk rock when I was younger. I used to listen to like Pennywise and stuff like that. And I used to play in bands and stuff when we would play like punk style music. And, you know, the rhythm guitar and the drum and the bass, they'd be playing their thing. I have a pre-recorded backing track that I just made before this video. And I'm just going to improvise over top of this doing these octaves on the A string, rooted on the A string. So you just kind of use your ear and you're going to find that it's pretty easy to lock in with the rhythm section. So check this out and hear what it sounds like. So it doesn't just have to be punk rock style music, it can really be any style of music. I would do this all the time, like before I even knew like scale patterns and how to solo in different patterns and stuff like that. Before I knew anything about that, I could easily just put a cool sounding lead to stuff just by doing this octave stuff, all rooted on the A string. I didn't know anything about theory, but I just kind of used my ear and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. And it's done all the time in lots of other popular songs too. I'm sure you've heard this technique before. Anyway, so that's the first one. So this next technique is going to be done without the pick. So again, the root's going to be on the A string, and then you're going to find the third. It's either going to be a major third or a minor third, and that's going to be found, you're going to skip 2 strings, and then the third is going to be found up here on the B string. So let's say you're doing a minor third. So let's say your root's right here, 7th fret of the A string. Your minor third is going to be up here on the B string. Now let's say you're doing a major third. So let's say your root note is down here again on the C, 3rd fret of the A string. So a major third is going to be again on the B string, but now it's going to be 2 frets higher. So major third, minor third, minor third, major third, minor third. All right, so you can just kind of mess around with this stuff. And if you want to add in an extra note, you can always add in that same octave that we just talked about previously. So let's say here's your major third right here. You can just add in that octave if you want to kind of get some more like... So you can make up all kinds of cool sounding stuff with this, and again, you could probably just use your ear. Like, this is what I did like when I was very young and I didn't know anything about music theory. I would just use my ear. Like sometimes I'm like, it shouldn't be the major one, it should be the minor one, or vice versa. So your ear is going to let you know which one the right one is. So you could do that, or you could use the circle of fifths if you want a little bit of guidance. So let's say you want to play stuff that's in the key of G major / E minor, you would just find your grouping of 6 on the circle of fifths, and then just knowing your notes on the A string, and then that will tell you which one are supposed to be major and which ones are supposed to be minor. So like the E is going to be a minor, the G is going to be a major, A is going to be minor, C is going to be major, D is going to be major. And you always have the option of taking the one that's in the inner circle clockwise position and making that into a major chord. That's a very common thing to do, regardless of whether you're playing the key in the major perspective, which in this case would be the key of G major, or the minor perspective, which would be the key of E minor in this case. So you can either leave that B as a minor chord, or you can make that into a major chord. I usually like to make it as a major chord. So something like this. So I don't know, whatever, just something like that. Just basically using the circle of fifths as my guide, letting me know which ones are major, which ones are minor. Of course, making that little alteration to the inner circle clockwise position, making that into a major, which is optional. And then just kind of noodling around. Or as I said, I used to just do it all by ear, whichever one sounds better to you. You don't have to use actual proper theory. If it sounds good, it's good. So anyway, so those are my 2 quick little tips. I used to do them all the time. I still do them to this day. Mess around with them. Have fun. Thanks for watching.